then that was going to end up to be a cycle. Never settle for that bullshit. Ever. I'm talking to you like you my brother. I would have whooped her ass. Like, that's why it's so important to learn a woman history and what she's used to and them toxic fucking traits that she has.
Sigma Male Diaries Podcast. Let's get on with it, y'all. Let's go. We can relax, have fun, get a good laugh, good information.
You might want to move this
show. And gentlemen, you already know who it is. It's your boy, Elizabeth Knight, Sigma Male Diaries. Thanks for the love and thanks for the support. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been showing me some love, and I gained 100 subscribers within the last week. So keep up the good work. I still need like 600 and something more, man, to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, though. But ladies and gentlemen, I've been on YouTube, on the internet, including TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, sometimes Twitter. And I see a lot of women, how they talk about what their needs are and what they expect within a man, as if a man's supposed to fulfill their needs first, right? And you understand this, that men controls access to relationships and marriages, right? Women only controls access to sex. That's it. Therefore, that tells you that men actually controls the dating market. Men pursue relationships more or less than women. That's just a known fact. However, you have some women that have crossed over into the manosphere, as well as joining the red pill community. And a lot of these women are motivating men to be the best version of themselves, as well as nurture these men to the point whereas they're giving these men more encouragement, and they are in fact feeding their ego. It's not so much about what you can do for them or what can she get out of the whole situation and or the ordeal in return of saying, I will support you. You know, we lack a lot of that stuff as it is in the African American community. Now, there's a lot of women that are out here, and they don't really care about a man, what he need or want, or any of that stuff. They say they don't need a man this, they're independent, that, they're boss chicks. But they will say all these things such as, I don't need a man this, a man that. However, they are in fact put in positions to need a man and or men. But I'm going to touch on this whole topic, ladies and gentlemen. And one of the segments that I will be showing, she's a TikToker. I mean, she's very influential. She's a very nurturing woman. She's a black queen. It is what it is. And the next segment will be with O'Shea Du Jackson of Celebrity Junk. And it's about this lawyer. She's not a lawyer, but she's running for office. And she has some things that she has to say in regards to how she understands that men may be somewhat like left out, or they feel like they're not respected, or whatever the case is, but she has her own message within her agenda. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to hold you too much longer, but let's get to the show.
I'm really mad, but I just truly want you guys, you good men, the good men, to understand one thing. You were not messing with a grown woman. You were messing with a grown-ass girl that was not healed, that didn't want to be healed, that was trying to manipulate you, that was trying to control you mentally. Think about it. Because the next time you got into an argument, you was going to watch what you really said and how you carried yourself. Because you knew that it was a possibility she was going to kick your ass out. 9 times out of 10, you had to go to your mom's house or your friend's house. Then that was going to end up to be a cycle. Never settle for that bullshit. Ever. I'm talking to you like you my brother. I would have whooped her ass. Like, that's why it's so important to learn a woman history and what she's used to and them toxic fucking traits that she has.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I like to pause it right here for 1 second. Now, fellas, you've been in a situation whereas you've been involved with a woman, you've been in a relationship, and you obviously, in fact, moved into her house, whatever the case is, because you wanted to be outside of the house, the crib, whatever you want to call it. But let's just say you moved out of your place, your mom's place, or Ed's place. You meet this lady, y'all, hit it off, and eventually you move in, and now she has that upper advantage, right, of your livelihood being in her hands, whether she say you can stay or not, whatever the case is. But there have been a lot of situations where men put themselves in this situation though, and then sometimes a lot of women gets upset, like, okay, this, that, and the third, he's not doing this, he's not doing that, whatever the case is, instead of motivating this guy, inspiring this guy, nurturing this guy, whatever the case is.
I brought my husband here today because of his lack of career. He doesn't provide for the household, and he keeps his family in our marriage. And if that doesn't change, I want a divorce.
What do you have to say about that, Mr. Boomer?
She petty as a wife. I always got something to talk about my family, or I can't do something right. It's always some drama behind the whole situation. You go turn the stuff in back to the man. So then I got another job about a month ago. You hear me real well? I just had another job about a month ago. We got a little altercation because I didn't feel like talking.
Who got into an altercation?
Me and her, because I didn't feel like talking about a situation that morning, because she'll tell me my problems, not your problems.
Did you put him out?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you did. Tell the truth.
I didn't put him out that time. No, but he has been put out.
But what about women wanting men to be vulnerable to them, though? They want men to open up and show this emotional side. But when they do decide to do that, would that woman still respect that man? I'm just saying in general, whatever the case is, though, would she feed that man's ego rather than have her ego fed? But let's get back to the show.
Say you need to expand your emotional vocabulary. It's so your life can be easier. Don't you want to be able to communicate with your bitch? I think yes, right? Long gone are the days where you can just shut down. Like, it used to be where men provided financially or with Schmeat, and bitches can make their own self come and we can pay for our own shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to catch up on the emotional part.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now this next segment is going to be with O'Shea Duke Jackson of the Celebrity Junk, ladies and gentlemen. And if you haven't already, please go over and show O'Shea Duke Jackson of Celebrity Junk. Show him some love, ladies and gentlemen. He has Celebrity Junk as well as O'Shea Duke Jackson. So he has 2 YouTube channels, okay? Just so that you know, hey, I like his reactions, man. You know, it's very informative, inspirational for our guys trying to find, you know, their place in life, you know, in regards to like wanting to be this financially independent guy or successful, stable guy. I mean, Kevin Samuels, God rest in peace, you know, he transitioned, but guess what? His work is still going to be pushed out here in this community as far as the Manosphere and Red Pill goes. It's not only just him. It's Andrew Tate, it's O'Shea Duke Jackson, as I said before, you know, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, him. It's a lot of guys that's out here. Fresh and Fit Podcast. I mean, you name it, man. They out there to search it up on YouTube, fellas and ladies alike. But this is a very interesting segment to me because black men has been fending for ourselves as well with, you know, other men getting together, you know, to try to maintain the masculinity that we do have left, you know, not to blame it on oppression, but let's just say in regards to the relationships and their marriages within the African American community. And the reason why that's detrimental and it's just so imperative as well as important that women have to understand that men are put in a leadership role for a position. Now you have feminism and you also have feminists. Now you have to understand when you're dealing with these things where they want to be within the matriarchy. Okay, they want to blame the patriarchy for men wanting to rule the world, this, that, and the third. But guess what? Men has in fact built this infrastructure that we live in as well as protect women and children. So it's not just so much what we want, or we want to be so much more in control of, let's say, making decisions. Women want to cheat and do all these crazy things that men do. But guess what? When a woman brings another man's child into a relationship, into a marriage, that's a totally different story. Because the courts aren't going to hit you with a child support. Remember, you're with the provider male. You're with the man that's making at least what you make or have more than what you have and or what you make. So if he makes a baby, regardless if y'all married or not, he is the breadwinner here to provide for him, you, and his kids, and whatever other child he has. And it's important, fellas, that you remain sexually disciplined to the point where you're not that messy. When you bring another $300,000 worth of debt, or you better hope she don't have twins or triplets, man. That's $600,000, $900,000. Remember, fellas, we're not thinking as if we're women. Like, a woman can get help from the system, but men, we think, you know, we have businesses, we work, you know, we have to pay straight cash. It's not like the system. You understand? It's totally different. So you have to be financially and climb. All right, ladies and gentlemen, but check this episode out from Celebrity Journal.
Logan released a video called Stacey Abrams Released an Agenda for Black Men. So it got me really wanting to dig into the situation. Now, Stacey Abrams is a candidate to become governor of Georgia. She failed, I believe, in 2018, and now with the ability to run again, she's trying to do that. And time is winding down. An election day is approaching. She has all the black women supporting her. She has a lot of people supporting her. But one of the people that she needs to reach is black men. Now, I want to talk about this whole idea that black men are now being critical after being neglected for years in voting blocks now. That's why you see a lot of liberals coming towards black men, trying to find out their issues. And you're seeing it also from the right. A lot of black men are now going to the Republican Party, not in so many numbers, but you're seeing it more gradually. And there was a particular interview on MSNBC. Tariq Nasheed posted it, and pretty much there was a clip that I'm going to talk about where, you know, they're talking about black men being ignored in politics. And I want you to hear the excuse that the young lady gives to black men who are being ignored.
Roland made a really legitimate point here. I will say, you know, a lot of black men sometimes feel like they're ignored or they're put down, particularly sometimes even by black women in the media. So this is not that. But I do hear Roland's point that felt ignored. But you feel ignored and then you go over to the other side. The oppressed feel oppressed. So then you go and try to align with the oppressor. So I'm not putting black men down, but sometimes it's like, well, some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening and get in line with some of the black women. Is majority, like he said, vote Democrat, but that margin of people who can be plucked away from your people and go advance policies that harm your people, I just don't understand that.
So let me kind of read what Tariq Nasheed posted on Instagram before I get into it. So the Democrats are sending their plantation flunkies in the media to encourage black people to vote without getting anything for your vote, while calling me out by name, telling you all not to listen to me. Well, Tariq was not the only person called out by name. It's also Kevin Samuels. Now, I want to talk about this whole idea because this is not new. This thought process by this presenter is not new. Let's talk about dating, okay? And I want you to see how some black women feel about black men, right? So listen, we are not giving you as black women what you want. You feel ignored by us, okay? You feel ignored by us as black women. You feel like we're not listening to you. So you're gonna go over and date white women? Because we won't listen to you. We're ignoring you. We won't give you what you want. So you go and deal with white. I find it
quite interesting that, you know, he did say the things that he said, because while I was listening to it, I'm sitting back and I'm thinking like, men get with the women get on their program. See, we're not equals. See, women want more than just equality. They want to run the show. I mean, like you said, or like she said, she need more men. You need the men. But think about it. Men been left out and been put on the back burner for at least 60 to 70 years. So why should a man support, let's just say, a woman that has the attitude, that in a mindset in regards to what she even said about the late, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Now, when you hear a woman speak of a man of his caliber, a man that in fact stood up for men, you know, he was an advocate for men, but like you say, he was a feminist, which meant that he supports women equality as far as rights, jobs, businesses, stuff like that. But he never said that we were equals in marriages and relationships. That's not how it goes. Men don't look for women to provide, protect, or lead them. It's a total different thing. Men don't look for women to be financially secure so they could feel secure within, you know, their relationship and the marriage. I mean, unless you're looking for a freaking simp or a beta male, you can't say, hey, I want this 6-figure salary earning guy, but you expect him to be like these Pookies and Ray Rays and these other low value men that you in fact been dealing with for the first, let's say, since you was 18, 17 years of your life. Now you hit geriatric pregnancy, you're not that much worthy of value to a man that wants a family that has a legacy that says, I have options. There's more women on this planet than there's men, but you still want to move like men, and look what happened. You end up in paternity court, You end up on Maury, you end up on Steve Wilkos, you end up on Dr. Phil, and these are all shout-outs to the shows. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is this, and you still don't know who your father is. It's a big difference. I mean, the child's father, not your father, but even yourself, you're still looking for your father, you still don't know who he is. I mean, so if you don't even know who your father is, how would you even respect a man? Let's get back to the show.
Women, you go and deal with Hispanic women. You go overseas and deal with, how dare you do something for yourself that fits into your best interest. At best, our best interest is your best interest. You should do what we tell you to simply because we are your leaders. That's in relationships. Now, that sort of language is being directed at black men in a very disrespectful tonality towards politics. So now you're getting to see what your worth really is on the Democratic agenda. You're not looked at as adults. You're looked at as just 2/3 of a slave, 2/3 of a man. Remember that many years ago where slaves were counted as 2/3 of a vote? That's pretty much what you're being looked at as here. You're a whole vote, but what are your needs? You're not somebody that should be competed for. That's the same thing that black men are facing in relationships. It's the same thing that black men are facing politically, okay? Now, we're not gonna give you anything for your vote. Understand that. That's what she's saying. You're gonna go to the other side. So clearly, because we're not gonna give you anything, it's just like this. Think about this, right? I've heard about the situation in certain parts of countries in Africa. I knew of a person that told me that they were working for somebody and that person didn't pay them for 4 months. That individual said, listen, you're not paying me. I'm going to quit. I'm going to go to another job. Got another job. You can even keep the money that you were going to try to give me, which you're not going to give me. It's fine. I'll just go to somewhere else. The person had the audacity to be mad. What? You're going to go over there? Wow. You're going to go over to a person that's actually paying? Think about how stupid that sounds. What? I was going to do all this for you and I was going to introduce you to all of these things. At least the person here in this situation is lying, right? They're saying that to keep the person there or to make them feel bad. But in this case, in the political sense that we just watched, she's not even saying what you're going to get for your vote because you feel ignored. Let me ask you this. What if a black man talked to black women like this? What if black men said, you know what? We know.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to pause it right here. Speaking of the late Kevin Samuels that you just now mentioned, yeah, she just, like I said, right now, this is crazy. Now, I want to recap and go back on something that Kevin Samuels, in fact, said. Any man would tell you this that's in a leadership role and or position, right? We're not going to get on a woman's program. A woman is going to get on our program. We lead this. Like, this is our thing. We looking for the best outcome and results for our marriage. Like, we pursue women for relationships and marriages. So if a woman want to put herself in, let's say, a masculine man's role or a masculine role, then you have to deal with whatever challenges that comes with it. Men has to. So you have to. It's a risk. That's what men do. We take risks. But now you put yourself in a position to do a manly duty, regardless of how equal they made things to be. But can you handle the stresses of realizing that, hey, I may have to run for a third time, if possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, check this out.
Just like as a man, understand your woman will always come second to your purpose. And a woman that you deal with needs to already come preloaded with that expectation that she will always be second, that she is not your partner, that she is not standing beside you, that she's standing behind you, that her Instagram and her Facebook and her social media don't need to really exist unless she actually has a brand.
Your own brand. Typically, men don't deal with men that are successful. They don't deal with women that have social media accounts. Number one, these women monthly brands. Men are aware of a woman's nature that are in these positions, man. Come on, they've been around. You're seeing how women treated them when they had something, when they didn't have something. Or when they didn't have something, now they have something. It's like, they meet you on the way up, but then while they with you when you go down, they out. Or when you down, in their eyes, you broke or whatever, they see you climbing up the ladder, then all of a sudden, hey, big head. I mean, it's a whole bunch of crazy shit that goes on. But what is wrong with these modern women with their double standards? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you really enjoyed the show. Remember to head on over to O'Shea Duke Jackson and or Celebrity Junk. I will put the links in the description box. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. If you don't, you're going to have the worst dream of your life. I'm just joking. Some of you might like what I say, but then again, some of you might not. But I don't give a fuck. And I really don't. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, y'all stay safe. Y'all be blessed. But I'm out.